it's Joe Tamargo from WetheadPumpRepair.com. Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the Hydramax Pump Repair School. Alright, so we just showed you how to remove the front wet end cover by taking out these bolts, and now what I'm going to show you is how to remove the back end of this and access the stationary switch and the governor, because we need to remove those two things so we could take apart the motor and take out the bearings. But what we're going to also show you is how to put this wrench on the back of the shaft. There's a flat spot by removing the capacitor. That way you can remove the impeller. So if you want to just change your seal, you can put it there, but you should always change your bearings as well, but some guys just refuse to change your seal. So, alright, here we go. We're going to just loosen these two bolts here, okay, the screws with the nut driver, just like this, alright? And then once we loosen these two, we're going to remove this cover, and we'll be able to see the back of the motor. So here we go. I'm going to remove these two screws just like this. Alright, and after I do so, I'll be able to slide this off, okay, just like that. Oh, this one's still on a little bit, so I'm going to spin this a little bit more, a couple more times. Hey, man. Just like a cooking show when they take the meat out and it's like not ready yet. They're like, give it a few more minutes in the oven. And then they pull out another one. Like, well, we did this one earlier. Okay, so here we go. The cover's off. There you go. So that's the cover. Came off now. Now, what you can see there is, this is like almost like if you watch my other videos, or maybe you're a pool guy right now, quick moment. If you watch my other videos, like if you're a pool guy, you probably say, like, hey, that looks like a Hayward Super Pump. It is. It's like a Hayward Super Pump on the side, see? That's like a Super Pump. So if you're like, but it's mounted to the Hydramax. So if you're a follower of my YouTube channel, this is one of the same motors on like a 2-speed Hayward Super Pump. It has this motor. So this is like the same motor as a Hayward Super Pump. So now what we want to do is we want to turn this motor on the side like this, so we can access the shaft in a second. So I'm going to turn the motor on the side like that, and I'm going to take my nut driver and I'm going to loosen this one bolt here. And then what that's going to do is remove this clamp so I can move my capacitor out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to loosen this up here, okay, just like this. Sometimes they're a little tight, okay, and you have to get it like that. And you're like, oh man, I struggled it on video, but hey, I also need a new nut driver. So people that watch my videos, you'll know I always kid around on camera too. We've had like the same nut driver for like ages, and it's kind of like getting stripped out. So there's another video tip. If you have crappy tools, go out and get some good ones, because you don't want to be like me and like not be able to get your bolts off. So there you go. I'm just going to loosen this one bolt there. I'll show you a little closer now that I've loosened it up and explained to you how bad my tools are. Okay, so here we go. We'll take this little bolt out of there, and the capacitor will fall out of the way. Okay, now we also have a stationary switch here. That's what this switch is here. This is the switch that engages and shuts off. And then we have the motor governor, which is on the shaft back here as well. Alright, so now, at this point, you can take I use a 12mm wrench, and I slip it into the shaft here, okay? So you'll have to spin the shaft a couple times, and once you do so, you'll be able to get the wrench in there. It's a little tricky to get it back there, but once you get on the flat spot, so you'll be able to hold the shaft. See that? See, this won't move there. See, now I got my wrench on there. See that? Just like that. Now, once I have my wrench, now later on, if you keep watching the other parts of these video steps, or if you bought the premium DVD, you'll just keep watching. We're going to be removing this stationary switch here and the governor. And then once we do that and remove the armature, I'll show you that flat spot up close, but with the wrench is on. But for now, you can just see that the wrench is on there. Now, once the wrench is on there, what I'm going to do is spin this motor around like this, and you'll see here I have the impeller now, right? Here's my impeller. Alright, so when we hold the wrench in place, and now you'll see that I'll be able to spin my impeller if I hold my wrench side up. Now this impeller is a little bit tight, so it's going to be a little, there you go. I just had to hold the wrench. You want to basically, why don't we just show you, like, I don't just, I'll stay there, I braced the wrench before the wrench was moving. So what I did was I braced the wrench against the back of this motor right there. And then now, you will see that I can spin my impeller off, just like that. Okay, here it comes. I can see some rust in there. Looks pretty cool. Let me get this box away. Now remember, all parts are available at WetheadPumpRepair.com. We sell the repair kit, which comes with the 2 bearings inside the motor and the shaft seal. Great deal. Head on over to WetheadPumpRepair.com. Alright, so here we go. The impeller is almost off. I'm just going to keep spinning this little by little. Alright, I can see my water sling in here is starting to get a little bit stuck, so I'll show that to you in a minute. And there we go. That looks sweet. See there you go. That impeller is in good shape. You can see that it is not cracked. It's not damaged. This is the shaft. This is what goes over the shaft there, okay? Looks pretty good. And there's a seal. It's a little gold color. It's like, no, this guy did not send us plated gold. That is just what happens when you have a certain level of pH or corrosion. Sometimes the metal counter reacts, okay? So there we go. That's one part of the seal there. And the other part of the seal is on the back of the seal housing, okay? So there you go. We have showed you how to remove the impeller. So if you're watching the DVD and you bought the premium content, you probably didn't hear me say that. But if you're watching YouTube, remember, all parts are available at wetheadpumprepair.com. Click on the links below. Please hit the subscribe button. That allows you to get the latest and greatest videos. Okay, so in the part 3 of the Hydramax Pump Repair School, we're going to be showing you how to take apart the rear end of the motor, okay, how to remove the through bolts, how to remove the seal housing, and then basically how to separate the whole entire motor. But for now, we have to go, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace!